You're watching TVC Breakfast. Nigeria may go into economic recession if the coronavirus pandemic persists for months. And with the potential loss of 2.27 trillion naira worth of trade and significant job losses across sectors, there are already indications that the social, economic and financial challenges of the COVID-19 will lead to a global economic recession in 2020 and potential lost output of $2.7 trillion. Also, employee productivity is expected to drop, especially for companies that were not designed for and have not made remote working a part of their processes. Now joining me via Skype is CEO Finance with Mukhtar Mohammed. Good morning, Mukhtar. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. From the reports we are getting, Nigeria is set to perhaps get into a recession if the pandemic persists. A grim picture it seemed to paint, but then make us understand, how so?
Well, if we go by what IMF said, the world is already, the world economy is already on recession. So, and we are part of the world economy, so we can say we are will be immune from it. The Minister of Finance has said that if this continues for the next couple of months, Nigeria will go into recession. These are all promises on a lot of a lot of variables. One of those variables is the downward trend in the oil price. Also, the two cities that have the largest economy, that move the economy of Nigeria, Abuja and Lagos, is shut down. So this also is part of it. Then the informal sector, which happens to be one of the big shaker and mover of the Nigerian economy, as it stands now, is non-existent. Like your report said, they are not working from home. This is a sector that goes out daily to make their living. So when you look at that again, then you look at sectors. The economy is all about people, and people is all about welfare, and welfare is all about health. And if the health of the people as it stands now is being endangered, there's a lot of standstill in the economy of Nigeria. So going forward, we'll begin to see a lot of this playing out, especially even in the area of food production that will be coming in from the northeast, north central, from the northern part of Nigeria, because this pandemic also is ravaging in those areas now. It's beginning to ravage also through those areas. So that is why I think the minister is saying that if we don't look inwardly, even if we look inwardly, now I don't see how it's going to plan up for Nigeria, because tactically also the naira also is going to suffer from this current COVID-19 epidemic.
All right, before we look at the policy responses from our government, you mentioned the downward trend in the oil price, but some would say that perhaps the recent trade war between Saudi Arabia, that has been resolved between Saudi Arabia and Russia, could also perhaps make some improved changes in the oil price.
Veronica, I don't agree. We could see a marginal increase over some time, but very soon we'll see it will not be like that again. Why did I say so? The challenge OPEC has was a reduction about 30 million barrels. That's what OPEC wanted to reduce to have a balance. Now, what we've seen between Saudi Arabia and Russia is just 10 million barrels that have been. So we still have the excess of 20 million barrels that is still lying there. Even despite other OPEC nations are going to cut down, Nigeria is already cutting down also. So for the short term, we could see a balance in the price of crude. But how long can this be sustained? The OPEC will still have to come back again and begin to look at how to cut production also, supply into the market, because they already have a shortfall of 20 million. So it will not come out immediately. In the short term, it looks good. You could see that the price, even after the deal was made, the price still went back to about $20 per barrel before it reached to $33. So you could see this planning out as time goes on. So I don't think we should be saying that because of the cut of oil. And remember again, there's a cut in production also. Our own cut in our own production has also been reduced from 1.7 million barrels per day to 1.3 million barrels. So it's neither here nor there.
All right, now let's look at the policy response from government. Now, there was an emergency economic stimulus bill 2020 that says offering some sort of relief, offering individuals a moratorium on mortgage obligations for rapid access to affordable medical equipment, medicines, improve the financial well-being of Nigerians and the likes. Is this a holistic approach to addressing this issue?
Ordinarily, it's supposed to be a holistic approach. That's the best way to go. That's how every economy in the world has responded to COVID-19. But unfortunately, there's no mortgage. Mortgage financing is practically non-existent in Nigeria. It's only for the elite because even the middle class rarely get access to mortgage. So you could say that is making room for the elite. And then when you look at the healthcare, how many of those healthcare, the primary healthcare services, that's what the majority of masses will look to use. So how much of this relief is going to get to those places, we need to know. And then when you look at the financial packages that is being thrown at the less privileged, and like one of the governors said, how do you determine who is poor and who is not poor? We don't have data like the first interviewer was just saying. We don't have data. So the challenge is, where is the poor? What numbers constitute the poor in Nigeria? Where do they live? How many of the poor live within this area? How can you reach out to those people? So as it stands now, it's not holistic yet. It's a good plan, but in terms of implementation, we have some little bit of challenges. Now, who are going to benefit from all this? When you look at it, it's the big players in the health sector that are going to benefit from most of all this improvement of our health sector. The companies, the big companies. But how it is going to trickle down to medium and small SMEs, we don't know how the government is planning on that yet.
All right, Mukhtar Mohammed, thank you for speaking with us. You're watching TVC Breakfast. Nigeria may go into economic recession if the coronavirus pandemic persists for months, and with the potential loss of 2.27 trillion naira worth of trade and significant job losses across sectors. There are already indications that the social, economic and financial challenges of the COVID-19 will lead to a global economic recession in 2020 and potential lost output of $2.7 trillion. Also, employee productivity is expected to drop, especially for companies that were not designed for and have not made remote working a part of their processes. Joining me via Skype is CEO Finance with Mukhtar Mohammed. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Now, let's look at policy responses being made by the government to address the impact of COVID-19. We see that the central bank has arranged a fiscal stimulus package, and which includes a 50 billion naira credit facility to households, small businesses, and the likes. Now, how far would this go?
I'm one of those people that do not believe in what the CBN is doing, because they've not come out categorically to tell us what this stimulus package is going to be, or who is going to benefit from this stimulus package. It came up that there will be some people will be giving moratorium, they will not pay their loan. Who are these people? They are going to be doing stimulus package to some healthcare sector. Which of these healthcare companies are going to benefit from it? Agricultural sector, textile sector, those people that collected loan they have not come out categorically to tell us that these and these are the people that are going to benefit from it. We need to know, in other developed countries, we see the stimulus package come in, and you see the sectors that are going to benefit from it, and the companies in that sector that are going to benefit from it. And so it's not just coming out with a plan, but you must be transparent in that. So as far as I'm concerned, it's my own personal opinion, I don't think the CBN has been transparent enough in the current stimulus package that they have given to Nigeria.
Now, Nigeria's debt profile has been a source of concern for a lot of Nigerians and even analysts, business analysts and experts. And so there has been call for perhaps a waiver of the debt profile of countries that are perhaps struggling. at this point, so to speak, is that something that you would buy into as well?
It's something I would definitely buy into, and unfortunately, IMF just came out with about 23 countries that will be giving debt relief. Nigeria is not among them yet. I want to say yet, because I believe that our government have to push for it. If we get a debt relief, it's going to do a lot to our economy, especially when you look to our debt to revenue. Our debt to revenue, as it stands today, based on the budget representation, is now on a high about 48%. So it's really from 29% to 48%. It's really on the high side. So we really need, our revenue has gone down, our production level has gone down in our key, that is our petroleum, crude oil production also have gone down because of the cut by OPEC. So it will be good if we can get debt relief. That will become like a little bit of caution. And I'm particular that we should even get debt relief from the Chinese, because the Chinese are virtually the one doing businesses in Nigeria, are virtually the one doing most of the key infrastructural development in Nigeria. And fortunately for us, and unfortunately for them, the virus came from China. So we could begin to think of that and talk to the Chinese government, not just the World Bank, not just the IMF alone, even the Chinese Development Bank.
Are you confident that Nigeria, if it engaged China, stand a chance of getting debt relief from them?
We are China's largest trade partner in Africa. So I have seen no reason why we cannot get debt relief from China. If you see, of all African countries, Nigeria was the first country that China responded to when we needed their expert training, their medical aspect, how they've been able to curtail the spread of coronavirus, how they were able to fight coronavirus since it started from there. And you saw the response they gave to us, because their economic interest is also here in Nigeria. So it's something that the government should exploit, not just exploit it surfacely, but exploit it in details and looking at areas that they want the Chinese to make some concession. And I think they will do that.
Mukhtar Mohammed, thank you for speaking with us.